Okay, this is medieval Dynasty city builder, which I could call a survival game as well. A little bit of a strategy, a little bit of survival. And this is a game I very much like. I just want to showcase it here and go through the story, the gameplay. I'm gonna do a bit of voiceover explaining a little bit about the game, about the story as well, and but mostly about gameplay. Uh, the everything about the game I can say I like. The only thing is that the only thing I don't like is that the conversations are not voiced, and the fact that you have to read them for yourselves. And for that reason, I'm gonna skip over the conversations. I mean, if you want to read it, which I would suggest because it's a really good story, you can stop the video so you can do that, but I'm not gonna gloss over the text for anyone else who doesn't wanna read it so that they can watch the gameplay. So without any further ado, let's start it and we can talk about the game further when we get to it. There are two different modes to play. The Valley is a single player only. The Oxbow is both single player and multiplayer. You can do this co-op. I'd say the story in the Valley is more spelled out more and it has more elements to it. The Oxbow has a different map, but there's generally less to do around the Oxbow, but you can do it with friends, so that's the positive to it. I'm gonna do the Valley since I'm playing alone, and you can enjoy the story. I'd say there is a story with the Oxbow, but the story with the Valley is better, at least the first time around. I'd say it's a good one. The second time, it really doesn't matter which one you go with, and I'd say the map with the Valley is more developed. The Oxbow is more central around this town that you see here. The Valley is more integrated throughout the map with different towns. Let's get to it.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing round the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
Okay, so at the start of the game, you're pretty much left to your own devices here at the entrance of this town called Gostovia. I'm gonna just gather little bit of sticks and stones, which is gonna come in handy in a little bit. But you can do whatever you want. I would suggest following the story, especially the first time, because it's a good story. And even if it's your second, third, it's not your first time, playing the story will actually give you a lot of development points, which I think is called, yeah, Dynasty Reputation, which is used for you to be able to develop your town and get more people. So it's kind of essential, and through the main story you get a lot more reputation compared to doing the side quest. So I would still suggest you do the story even the second time around. And the quests are pretty fast, there isn't much to do. The story itself is nice, it's just that you have to travel a lot on foot, at least the first few hours of the game, so that's the only thing that's kind of a bummer. But you might run into stuff on the road as well, which could be beneficial in the start. You might find things along the roads that give you kind of equip you better to be able to start the game. Yeah, so this guy is pretty much our opening to the story. He knows your Uncle Jordan, and as we talk to him, he realizes he knows us by the color of their eye, and then it turns out the uncle is dead, and we basically get to start our own life here in this valley. So the first thing is to gather sticks and stones and then create your own axe, which you do it from this wheel here. The stone axes are used for cutting up trees. You can use it in combat, but it's not that effective. So one of the first things you need to do is to build this first house, basically by gathering all those things that's mentioned on the chapter quest on the top right. And that comes with selecting your town location, because everything you will build around your first house. And that's kind of a crucial decision, so I would suggest taking a good look around the map and seeing what's where. I have a good suggestion of where to build the town, which is where I'm gonna build it in this gameplay, but you're free to choose wherever you want. A lot of people like to build it over the island in the middle of the river, mostly because of the aesthetics. But I guess the middle of the map, where I usually build my town, is basically gives you a lot quicker access to everything around that you're gonna need, especially at the start, because later on you'll get a donkey and then a horse, and you'll be able to travel and also move things fast around. At the start is when you do a lot of walking. So where I usually build my town is around here in the middle of the map, so you have good and quick access to all the towns, although except these two, but I mean, there's no place to get all of them at the same time. So this is, I think, a good place to build it. You can do it here alternatively, but I'd say access to Gostovia is actually better since you need it for a lot of main quests as well. I think we got a level up in survival. Usually the skill I go with is this one, because it enables you to get more skill points faster. Temperature tolerance is definitely good, but I think this is more crucial. And then poisoning resistance is not that useful, because there aren't a lot of poison sources. Okay, so let's get to the point that we want to build our first house. And as we walk through, we can see on the top left the hunting spot for different animals are getting located. I think you can add those to the map, it's just that you need to pay a hunter to do that. But if you go through these parts a few times, you would be able to remember those. For example, this spot that I usually choose has a good enough access to different kinds of animals. There's deer nearby, there's moose, badgers, boars, rabbits, eagles and stuff like that. The only things that are not very close are bison and bears, which by the time you're hunting bears or even bison, you probably have a horse, so you're not as dependent on the location as you would be otherwise. So we're getting to the point that we want to build our house, and you can see there's a lot of straws available over here as well. Okay, so this is one of the points that you get some stuff. So these are potions for healing, for strength, and we get poison too. So this was like a potion card toppled over. These broadleaf plantains are good for healing early on in the game if you don't have a potion, which you usually don't unless you happen upon a cart like I did here. And daisies and dandelions are also used for healing, it's just that they don't provide as much healing as the plantain. Okay, so this is usually where I build my first house. What I would like is to have this area in front of me to be able to build the fields for farming. So I think this here is a good place, and you can see deer over there that later on we can hunt if you want to. Okay, so let's cut down some of these trees and get us started on the first house. You also get sticks and feathers from each tree that you cut down. So if you were lacking feathers, this is a good way to get some, other than hunting birds, of course. But this I think is actually quicker. So you see, we got 2 feathers from there. Because finding birds is not easy unless you're close by to some of them, and then you have to be able to shoot them with arrows or hunt them with spears. So this way you can gather some feathers quickly if you need. Okay, as you can see on the bottom left corner, I'm getting bit overburdened, and that means I'll move slower, but that's fine since we're gonna build our house here. This is one of the first building. This is, I think, basically it's unlocked from the start. As you can see, everything is locked when you start, and then as you progress, build, and learn more things, you'll be able to build a lot more things. So one thing I usually do is try and line these. Like for example, I want this one to be facing north, so yeah, I think where the okay, I wanna have these berry bushes nearby, so let's put this right here facing north. Next thing I need is a wooden hammer to be able to build the house. Okay. If you go to your inventory and the tools part, you can select each tool and then assign a number to them so that you can quickly access it. We're gonna need a stone for the foundation, so we need to be looking at the ground to find some stone. 5 more. One of the things about this place is that it does not have enough as many stones as a lot of other places on the map. But if you move towards the river, you'll find more stones if you need a lot of them. Okay, that's that. Let's continue building this house. And then with the walls and the roof, you get the option to change it. So you'll have 3 options. You have just a wall with windows or doors, and then for each one you'll have 3 choices in terms of building material. As you go up, they're gonna be more expensive, especially since like finding stones and logs is way harder than sticks. But building with stones or logs, that means you'll get more durability as well as heat retention, so that you'll need less firewood to survive in the winter. So what I usually do is that I go with stone walls. For the roof, you have 3 options again. The other 2 need planks, and planks are like further down the process, so we can't build them right now. So I still need to go with a straw roof, but later on you can change that if you want. Okay, I think that's all of them. So let's go, as I said, towards the river and get more stones so we can get us started on finishing this house. As you see, there are a lot more stones near the river here compared to that area that we were building the house in. That's one wall built. And building also uses a stamina, so that's something you'll be able to do much faster as you go to the story. Since we have straws, let's put them into the roof. The straws don't weigh that much, but still, we would be a little bit lighter and be able to carry a couple more stones. As you can see on the bottom left, there are 4 bars. The green one is the stamina. As you see, it's depleting while I'm building, or if I'm running. Okay, let's go get more stones. The red one is the health. The orange one is hunger. And the blue one is the thirst. So if I go here into the water, I have the option to drink. And this is not like a lot of other survival games, so you don't get sick if you drink straight from the river. It's fine. And as you see, the blue bar just filled up since I drank water. Later on you have the option to draw from a well, and then you can have buckets of water or water skins to carry the water with you, so you don't have to like go back to your base to drink water. We just got another level up, which comes with 2 skill points. We can go with this one, which enables us finding stones, which I think is valuable. So I'm gonna get 1 point in that one, and then another one in getting faster experience. Also, getting this one will enable us to get the ones on the top, but I still am gonna get the next one in this skill point, and then later on, I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna go with this slower loss of food and water, because I think basically these two are more important, but also this one, the one that gives you more health. So yeah, after finishing this, I'm gonna go into health and then probably get one into this skill point and then focus on these two. Okay, so we filled up again. And me picking up all the daisies and everything is kind of a force of habit. Yeah. I mean, there's not much of a downside to it because they don't weigh that much, and then they can be useful if you like run into bandits or wolves on the way. The wolves are like, they have set locations. They don't just appear anywhere. The bandits though can. So, like for example, I had one playthrough that I was coming here to build a town, and then there was a bandit camp right over here. So there is a chance that you might run into some bandits early on in the game, so having daisies, dandelion, or plantain leaves handy can be the difference between life and death. Okay, so let's put all these. We'll be able to finish the roof. We just unlocked another building, the wall, so that we will be able to draw water, which in this case I don't think is really important because we're very much close to the river. But if we ever need to, yeah, I'm not gonna collect the berries right now. Let's leave that for later. And let's gather more stones. Yeah, there's a lot of stones here. Okay, let's head back. I probably need to do this 1 or 2 more times to be able to finish the house. Yeah, let's rest a bit. I think just 1 more time will be enough. I'm hoping. I got too many. Let's build a knife, so we'll get a little bit lighter, and then we're gonna need that knife later on as well when we're hunting. Yeah, and I forgot to turn off the tutorial, so these are gonna pop up every so often. That's fine. Okay, we just lost our hammer, so let's cut a couple of trees to build another one. To me, it's kind of funny that the axe with this big handle doesn't need any woods to build, any tree trunks, but the hammer does. Although it kinda makes sense because then if you needed logs to build an axe, it would be hard to be able to start without one. We'll need to assign the... Oh, I didn't build the hammer again. Let's do that. Okay, it was auto-assigned, hopefully. Yeah, that was about food. We're gonna need... Oh. I forgot to change that one apparently. So let's do that. Okay, let's cut a couple of trees here. And usually the way the trees fall down is basically right in front of you, depending on which direction you're chopping the tree. Not always though, so you need to be a little bit careful when cutting down trees. Like you see, I was cutting this way, but it's falling towards the west. So just be a little bit careful when you're cutting trees down, especially if you're close to your buildings, or also they might fall on you as well and then cause some damage. Okay, the resources storage was unlocked, which is good because I'm thinking that probably should be next building that we build. Although, let's go in here, let's drop some stuff that we don't need into this chest. I think I'm gonna sell most of these potions except the healing one. Then we can drop all of these. And if I'm not cutting trees or building, I don't need those two. Okay. Now I have a lot of room. What time it is though? Okay, it's getting late, so let's continue building. The next day I'm gonna go do the story and do some more stuff as well. Or at least let's cut some more trees. Because I think we're gonna need a lot of them for that resource building. And using that skill point that we used, now we can locate the stones faster in our area, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna need more sticks to do that. And you usually get more sticks if you use these small plants. Obviously, with my chance there isn't a lot nearby. So let's get some from the floor, or the ground I mean. And build another axe, because this one is about to run out. The trees and the animation I think is very good when you're chopping them down and falling, everything. The only thing that is not very realistic is the way you carry all these logs, which I think is kind of hard to balance between having a okay gameplay compared to being realistic. So the next thing would be to build the resource storage, which is a large building that's used to store everything you have other than food. So I'm gonna align it to the facing east here. And then I don't wanna ruin these bushes, and I want some room to be able to move, so let's put it right here. I'll still be able to get between these two buildings. Okay, so yeah, I put down my hammer as well, so let's get that. And we're gonna need more stones for it, so let's put our logs in the storage here. and go get some more stones. Now here we can locate the stones way easier, especially during the night. This uses a stamina, but it's very helpful. Saving us a lot of time locating the stones, especially if you're like me and building stuff overnight. Let's head back. I think we have more than enough stones. We can store some of it for the next building that we build. Okay. I'm gonna build another hammer as well because I think I'm probably gonna need it, since this is a very large building with a lot of resources that goes into it, so the number of times we're gonna use this hammer is very much high. So unlike the houses, you don't get to choose the material you build the other buildings with. The reasoning behind it, I would say, is that because you're gonna need to upgrade these buildings later on, and then later on the material is gonna change when you're upgrading. So that's why you don't get to start with logs and stones that much. You're pretty much locked into sticks. We're gonna need to get some more straws as well. But for now, let's build the rest. Okay. The sign that showed up on the bottom left corner is the cleanliness. So the higher it goes, that means you're getting dirtier. And I believe you should be able to see it here as well visually, but we're not that dirty yet. If you're very dirty and you go into a town, people will just refuse to talk to you, so you then need to go clean yourself, which you can do either in the river just by going in, or later you can build a tub to use for that. Our hunger is also getting pretty low. At the start of the game, you get a lot of dried meat as well as an outroll, a couple of outrolls, What I would suggest is that basically the different kind of foods have a little bit of like side effects. Like dried meat will enable you to consume less food, and outroll will enable you to consume less stamina. But overall, those side effects don't really matter that much. The thing I would usually care about is how much food I get from it compared to the price. Like, for example, the dried meat is 8 coins and it gives you 13. The outroll is 20 coins, so less than 3 times the amount of coins for a dried meat, but it'll give you 80 food, which is more than, I believe, for maybe even 5 times. Yeah, it's more than 5 times the amount of food that the dried meats give you. So generally, since the condition on these goes bad and the price will drop, what I will do is that I'll sell my excess food, and in this case I would be selling the dried meat compared to the oat roll, even though the oat roll is more expensive. Another upside to oat roll is that it's actually uh, it yeah, I'm not sure if it weighs less, but for the same amount of food it weighs less, so it's more economic to keep those on you instead of the dried meat. So in every way possible, it makes more sense to usually to consume the more expensive foods and sell the cheaper ones. Okay, I'm gonna need 10 sticks and 2 stones to build another axe, because this one is about to break. Yeah, so the point about food was that I'm gonna get 80 from this, so I'm gonna wait until this goes below 20 before consuming it. Yeah, as I said, you see it falls a little bit off from the direction I was pointing at, and you need to be careful so that it doesn't fall on your buildings, because it can damage it, and also yourself, because it will hurt you. This one I don't think is gonna make it. Or maybe it did. Okay, did we get all the logs that we needed? Looks like it. Okay, so let's get some more sticks from here, put the logs down. and then go get some straws from the river. We got a point in production, which we can use in either of these three categories. I think I'm probably gonna benefit more from this one because it's board, workshop and smithy as opposed to the sewing hut and kitchen. So let's put a point in that. But then after that, I think maybe I'm gonna get this, I'm not sure. Or maybe I'm gonna stick with that. Because you don't get more experience from crafting from any of these skills here. Okay, now that we're down on hunger, let's consume one of these. Oh, I got a point in extraction as well, which... yeah, I'm gonna put it in this. Similar to survival, you'll get more experience by gathering logs and then later on stones and minerals. So let's go get some straws and also wash ourselves in the river. So as you go in, you see that disappeared. Let's drink some water as well and then gather some straws. I think I'm gonna do 150 and then go back. Okay. So as long as we're passing through here, let's gather all the stones as well. Until we're overburdened, which is now. Okay, now we have a good place to store everything. let's go get all the stuff from here as well. And put it in there. Put all of these here too, because let's gather some berries as well. I don't think they're worth that much in terms of selling, so what I'm gonna do is probably sell it, every last bit of it. At least early on it's a good source to get some money. I think every berry goes for 0.1 coin, and then every one of these gives you like 4 or 5 berries. So every couple gives you a coin. Which is good. At least at the start, not later on. It's not worth your time. So let's cut down one more tree so we can build a few spears and then go hunting. Because I believe, yeah, this is still early in the morning. So everyone's gonna be asleep at the town. No point going there. Oh, and we can set a trap for a rabbit as well. Which we're gonna need some sticks for. So here you can build the rabbit trap. And then I'm gonna assign spears to number 3. And I know there are some eagles here. In this fog it's probably hard to see them if they are still here with me going around. You see that pop-up showed us. Okay, yeah, there's the eagle over there. I'm hoping I can get it. Yep. Okay, we got the eagle. And then get the feathers and meat from it. Okay, there are some more berries over here. I still have some room. I'm gonna put all these berries in the storage. I guess all the meat and feather and everything I gathered so I can come back out again. Overall, you shouldn't store food in here after you build your food storage, but for now we can do that. Because the only time that the food will go down in quality is when the season passes and we have some time. So every season is gonna be 3 days and we only passed 1 day so far. So before the season ends, you wanna sell or consume all the foods. I mean, if you wanna consume it later on, that's fine, because even if it's down in quality, it will give you the same amount of food. But if you want to sell it, then you better do it before it goes down, because the price will go down as well. So where are those crows or hawks? I can't see any. I think they're on the road, but nope. Okay, I know up there are boars and also rabbits. Okay. That's where the crows were. Oh yeah, there's... Not sure if... That might be the hawk. So the first one jumps. Let's get... Yep. Got that one, and there's a moose walking down there. I'm not gonna hunt it. First of all, it takes a few spears. Secondly, I don't have the capacity to transfer that much meat and leather. Although we can use the leather. Not yet. So let's just gather some berries here. Okay. I know there are rabbits nearby, and oh yeah, there's a cart here. Let's see what's in here. Iron ore is a good and valuable thing. The only problem is that we don't have much use for it right now. And by the time we can use it, it's gonna be more than accessible, so I might actually end up selling it. I'm not sure how much it's worth though. So let's see if we can find some rabbit here. Yep, there's one. So usually the easier way to hunt a rabbit is like this. Instead of throwing the spear, you can just run up into them and then stab them. Yeah, they give you 2 meat and 2 fur, which is fair compared to the size. I don't see another rabbit nearby. As we're going this way, yeah, I was just gonna say we're probably gonna run into some boars, so let's try and hunt that one. I think it's gonna take 3 spears to get the boar, so that's the first. Here's the second, and that's the third. Boars are usually not alone, so there might be a couple more nearby. As I said, I don't have that much capacity, so let's just get our spears and move on. Okay, I can get the berries here. Although I'm pretty sure I'm getting very close to another boar. Okay, yeah, and it's 8 a.m. So now we can head back to the base. And then also, after putting the things that we don't want down, we can grab everything else and go sell it. For the most part, we don't... The first thing I want to sell is the berries, because they go bad. The meat, there's actually a trick to the meat and how you can sell it later, and you can keep it raw, and then when you cook it or dry it, it actually resets in quality, so that way you can have meats that are nearly spoiled, but then after you cook them, they're gonna be fine. As you can see, the trap has also dropped, so there's gonna be a rabbit in there. We're gonna grab that one. And then arm the trap again. So let's see. Let's put everything that we don't want here. So, okay, so the iron ore is worth 15, so we can sell it for 7.5. That's good. We can use the leather as well. So, okay. I'm gonna put down the meat, and then I don't need the spears or the hammer or the axe. So let's just take all the berries and all the meat that does not burden us and head to the town. There are some moose over here as well. What's that? 87 coins and 5 copper ores. That's great. I don't believe I've seen this chest before here. I'm a bit overburdened. I'm not sure if I want to drop something though. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to run into a chest like this. So let's just... Oh no. Let's just run away from the door here. Yeah, that's why I told you having those plantains is gonna be useful. And I don't believe I have anything to... Okay, I think what I need to do is drop some things. So let's see what's the least valuable. I'm thinking it would be the copper ore. Okay, now we're not overburdened, and let's take some more broadleaves and then just run. I'm hoping I can outrun the boar. Just get rid of him. I'm not up for... I think we did, yeah. I wasn't up for cutting down a tree and like creating spears and everything. Okay. That went okay, I guess. Oh, yeah. So there's some wheat over here which we can use. I'm definitely not gonna sell those. It would have been nice if we had a sickle, but it does not look like we have one over here. So let's just head back to town, sell everything that we don't need. Okay, she's gonna give us some food as well. And then again, if you wanna read these, you can stop the video. So I'm not gonna spend that much time reading each one. I believe she's gonna give us some beer to bring to her husband. Yep.
How can I help you?
Let's go on and sell. So the iron ore, I'm gonna even sell the sticks. The dried meat can go. The oats I'm gonna sell after I finish the quest. The poison can go. The porridge, I believe, can go as well. And then definitely the berries. So with the berries, you see that the price is the same as the food that you get, but you also get 20% poisoning. So it's not worth that much for the food, but also there's a huge downside to it. So you'll prefer to sell all of that. Potion of strength gives you more damage. I don't really have much use for it, and I don't use alcohol, so let's get rid of the potion of sobriety as well. And I believe that's everything. So we have 246 so far, which is not bad.
Hello there.
Okay, so where is he? Okay, he's sitting right over here. We talk to him, and I believe we're gonna have a beer as well. Yeah, another reason that I don't wanna spend too much time on the conversation is that if you wanna play this for yourself, most of the story is actually revealed through conversation, so that way it's not a spoil for you. There is a quest right over here. Is it her? Ah. So maybe we can get some reputation through that.
Good day, madam. See you soon. How can I help you, sir?
Oh, I'm gonna need this stick. Okay. And that's that. Let's go back to him. Okay, so that was some quick reputation that we got. Okay, so let's change story. That one say leave for the. Okay, let's talk to this lady about the delivery. Yeah, this is one of the quests that you have to walk a long distance for. So I believe this is a good point to finish this first part of the playthrough. We can pick it up in the next video. So far we've built the first house and the storage, and we did some hunting, and then we sold some things to get some money as well. We got lucky and fell up on a chest as well, which had some coin in it. So next time we can continue this quest, which brings us to another town, and then probably continue building and getting some other buildings in our town as well. Okay.